पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. We have commenced the first chapter of the Gita, the Arjuna Vishada Yoga. We have read 11 verses in the last session. The Dhritarashtra says, I want to see what is happening in the Dharma Kshetra, the Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra, the battlefield, which is also called the Dharma Kshetra. And what has happened there, what my people, the Kauravas and the Pandavas, the sons of the Pandu, my brother, are doing in the battlefield. And Sanjaya says, Drishtvatu, etc., Duryodhana, after having seen the battle-arrayed army of the Pandavas, he goes near to Acharya. Acharya here means Dronacharya, and he says these words, O Acharya, Drona, see the army which is battle arrayed, Mahatim Chamum. It is a great army. Your Panduputranam Mahatim Chamum. It is the army of the Pandavas. You please see that. It has been arrayed, it has been arranged, it has been arranged into formation by none other than your disciple who is very intelligent, the Drupada Putra, the son of the Drupada, the Drishtadyumna himself. There you find many great warriors who are equal to Bhima and Arjuna. Their names are given here. Duryodhana lists their names: Yudhana, Virata, Drupada, etc. Drishtaketu, Chaikitana, Kashi Raja, Purijit, Kunti Bhoja, Shaibhya, Yudhamanyu, Uttamoja, Saubhadra, that is Saubhadra and Draupad. Saubhadra means Abhimanyu, and Draupadeyascha, the sons of the Drupadas. All these are Maharathas, the great warriors, the valiant people, the brave people. And you please learn about those warriors in our army also. For your information, I am going to tell you, because you are one of the leaders of the army. Nayaka mama sainyasya samjnartam tan bravimite. And you, the great Dronacharya, and the Bhishma, Karna, Krupa. Krupa is qualified here as Samitinjaya, one who wins all the battles. Ashwathama, Vikarna, Saumadatti, the son of Somadatta, and Jayadratha. There are many other warriors, the soldiers, the great archers, the great soldiers in the battlefield who are ready to sacrifice their lives for my sake. Madarte tekta jivitaha. They are efficient in using the different kinds of weapons. Nana shastra praharanaha. All are very much skilled in the battle. Sarve yuddha visharadaha. And after that, he makes a very interesting observation here. Apariyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma bhirakshitam paryaptam tu idametesham balam bhima bhirakshitam. Therefore, our army, the army of the Kauravas, which is protected by none other than the Bhishma, the grandfather, a great warrior, great archman, is more than enough to defeat the army of Pandavas because it is limitless, aparyaptam. And Bhima virakshitam. Bhima is somewhat inferior than the Drona in the skill of battle and the skill of the arranging the army, etc. Therefore, yetesham balam, the bala, the army of these people, this is not enough to defeat us because it is limited in capacity compared to our army. So far, therefore, and he requests, Duryodhana requests all of them, all the great people, great warriors in his side, to protect Bhishma only. Ayanechu cha sarveshu yatha bhagam avastitaha bhishmameva abhirakshantu bhavantaha sarva evahi. Bhishma is very important to us. It is Bhishma who can win the war or mar our efforts. But for him, we would be defeated in the war. So all our efforts should be to protect the Bhishma. Bhishma will be fighting against the Pandavas. His whole focus would be to kill as many people as possible in the Pandavas' army. He is a ferocious fighter. See that he is not distracted from all the three sides. He should focus on only one side, that is in the front against the Pandavas. On either side, our duty is to protect the army and also from the behind. Bhishma meva bhirakshantu bhavantas sarva evahi. So this is the situation we are in. You see here, the battle is not only a physical battle, but it is a kind of psychological crisis, psychological fighting that you will find here. You feel the lack of confidence, a kind of depressive attitude on the part of the Duryodhana, and it seems he has already submitted the fact that the Kauravas are going to lose the battle. That is why he wants to create a kind of conflict, a division between his own people, between Drona and Bhishma. Instead of going to Bhishma and requesting him to fight or requesting him to arrange for the battle, he is going to Drona. He goes to Drona and speaks about the warriors and etc. And he asks, in the presence of Drona, he is prizing Bhishma. See, all these things we should understand. Though Drona and Bhishma were living together for many years in the court of Kauravas, still they have their own kind of enmity. They have their own problems, relational problems. So Duryodhana wants to make use of this enmity between Dronacharya and the Bhishma. And it is said here, Drona was overhearing all these conversations. The interesting fact here is, Drona has not uttered a single word here. Dronacharya did not answer to the queries or the talking of Duryodhana. Duryodhana was doing a kind of monologue, and Dronacharya never responded to that. And he was keeping mum. But one who responded is Commander-in-Chief Bhishmacharya. He was hearing what Duryodhana was telling to Dronacharya. And he also heard the praise of him, Bhishma, in front of the Drona. Therefore, he wanted to raise the confidence level of Duryodhana. He understood Duryodhana is not very confident of winning. He is not at all confident of in the strength of the army. He is losing the hope. So I have to induce joy in him. I have to induce confidence in him. I have to make him aware that the Kaurava army is strong enough to defeat the Pandava army. Therefore, he did a wonderful thing. What he is going to do is the subject of the next verse. Verse number 12. Tasya sanjayanan harsham kuru vruddha pitamaha simhanadam vinadyochaihi shankam dadmau pratapavan. So, there are 2-3 qualifications are given, the attributes to Bhishma. One is the Kuru Vruddha. He is the grandfather, the eldest of the Kurus, and also he is Pitamaha, grandfather, and also he is the eldest of the Kuru clan, and that is Bhishma. Sasya Sanjayanan Harsham, in order to raise joy, in order to create a kind of happiness in the mind of Duryodhana, what he did, Simhanadam Vinadya. He did 2 things. First of all, he sounded a lion's roar. He roared like the lion. The Simhanada is a kind of idiom used in the Sanskrit literature. If one roars loudly, that is called the Simhanada. He roared like the lion. He roared like the lion's roar. Simhanadam Vinadya. How he roared? Uchchaihi, in the loud voice. So that even the people in the army of Pandava also could hear the sound of Bhishma. That is what Simhanada for us. This is the first action did by Bhishma. Simhanadam Vinadya Uchchaihi. Then Pratapavan, he is a great warrior. Great, nobody can beat Bhishma in the battlefield. So he is called here Pratapavan. Pratapavan, a great warrior, a valiant Bhishma. And the second action he did was to blew the conch, blew his conch, that is Shankha, Shankhanadam karoti, he shankam dadmau pratapavan. So this is how he wanted to infuse confidence or a kind of joy in the mind of Duryodhana. See, the psychological aspect of the actions of Bhishma also should be understood. Dronacharya is very indifferent to the words of Duryodhana. He did not utter a word, though the words were addressed to Dronacharya. Duryodhana was speaking to Dronacharya, but Dronacharya never answered. Dronacharya did not respond. He was very indifferent to the words of Duryodhana. But it is Bhishma who responded to the worry, anxiety of Duryodhana. This is very, very interesting. You see the difference in the attitudes of the two great warriors in the Kaurava army. The attitude of Dronacharya and the attitude of the Bhishma. And Bhishma blew the conch, as well as just before that he roared like a lion to infuse joy in the mind of Duryodhana. Then what happened? It's a very great tumultuous sound was created. A confusion was created in the battlefield. There was an uproarious sound in the battlefield due to the various instruments, battle drums and other instruments sounded there. That is the subject of the next shloka. Tata shankascha bhiryascha panavanaka gomukha sahasaivaabhyahanyanta sashabdastumulo bhavatu. Tataha. Tataha means immediately after the Bhishma blew his conch, what happened is Sahasaiva abhyabanjat, immediately blared forth. Immediately blared forth. They have made the tremendous sound. What made the sound? There are many instruments, musical instruments, Shanka, Bheri, Pandava, Anaka and Gomukha. Shanka means the conch, Bheri means the kettle drums, Pandava means tabors, Anaka means trumpets, and Gomukha means the horn. They all were sounded immediately, all of a sudden, simultaneously. That is what the Sahasaiva, the word indicates. Immediately after the blowing of the conch by Bhishma, Sahasaiva, Abhyahanyanta, all of a sudden they made sound. Abhyahanyanta, blared forth, it is called. And the Sashabdaha, that uproarious sound, the great sound, Tumulaha abhavat. Tumula means tremendous sound it made, tremendous strain, uproarious sound, and the great sound which confused everybody because it all happened suddenly, instantaneously, without any warning, without any expectation on the part of the either side of the battle. Suddenly the whole battlefield was filled with the sound of conch, kettle drums, tabors, trumpets and the horns. And this is the idea we find in this sutra. The commentator Madhusudana Saraswati says the sound shake the minds of the Kauravas because they were already worried, they were depressed, but not the Pandavas. Pandavas are on the right side of the dharma, they were following the dharma, they are waging the war of dharma, dharma yuddha, they are fighting. So they have no worry at all, they have no anxiety at all. But these Kauravas, which were finding a adharma yuddha, they were on the side of adharma, unrighteousness. So they were full of worries, full of anxiety. They were shaken by the sound, but not the Pandavas. Now a great scene is happening now. It is very, very dramatic. We have seen from the beginning itself, the whole scene is very dramatic. And Dhritarashtra asking Sanjaya, and Sanjaya reporting to Dhritarashtra, and the words of Duryodhana, and the and the confusion created there, tumultuous sound created there due to the sounding of the different musical instruments. Now, on the scene appear our heroes of this scripture. We have two heroes here. One is represents all the humanity, the Nara, that is Arjuna. Another is Purushottama, the Lord Himself. Tatashvetairhayair mahati syandane stito madhava pandavaschaiva divyau shankau pradadmatuhu. So in the Pandava army, there are great warriors, the names of those great warriors and the names of the conches they have blue are also written here or recorded here in the Bhagavadgita text, but not on the side of the Kauravas. Kauravas also blew their conches, but none of the names of the conches are recorded. That means their blowing of the conches were insignificant compared to the blowing of the conches by the Pandavas. So it is all fully psychological. Psychologically, already the Pandavas have won the war, it seems. So, tataha shvetaihi harer yuktehi mahati syandhana. There was an excellent, great chariot, mahati syandhana. There standing, there stated two great people, Madhava and the Pandava. And horses, the white horses are yoked to the chariot. Shvetaihi haye yukte mahati syandane. There are two great personalities of the day were stationed on that chariot. And who are they? We are introduced to the great personalities for the first time in this sloka in Bhagavad Gita. Who are they? Madhava and the Pandava. You see the rhythm, Madhava and Pandava. One who has killed the Madhu Rakshasa is the Madhava, the Lord Krishna, and Pandava is the son of the Pandu. And I also told you Madhava represents the Supreme Lord Bhagavan, and the Arjuna, the Pandava, represents the human being. So it is a conversation between the Supreme Lord and the Nara, the human being. So human being, out of helplessness, out of ignorance, troubled by sorrow and infatuation, shoka and moha, approaches the Lord for knowledge, and the great Lord is bestowing the knowledge. And this is how the Gita has come out from the mouth of the Lord Krishna, Madhava and Pandava. And they both blew a wonderful and Divyau Shankau Pradadmatuhu. Divine Shankar. They are not ordinary Shankar, ordinary conches. They are great, wonderful and divine conches. They blared, they blew. Shankau Pradadmatuhu. Celestial conches they blew. What is the name of the conches? Now, in the next two slokas, we find the persons who blew the conches and also the names of the conches. And all these great people are on the side of Pandavas. Who are they? Panchajanyam Hrishikesho Devadattam Dhananjayaha Paundram dadmau mahashankam bhima karma vrukodaraha. Panchajanya. Hrishikesha, the Lord Krishna, blew the conch called the Panchajanya. The word Hrishikesha is very important here. The commentator Madhusudana Saraswati takes trouble to enumerate us, to instruct us the significance of the word Hrishikesha. Hrushikanam Isha. This is how we have to split the word. Hrishika means our indriyas, including the mind. And the Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Supreme Lord, Ishvara, Paramatma, He is the Lord of the all organs. So that idea you will find in the Kena Upanishad itself. In Kena Upanishad, the question is asked, who makes eye to see? What is that which makes the ears to hear? What is that which makes the mind to think? And these questions are answered, Shrotrasya Shrotraha, Manasaha Manaha. It is to be called the eye of the eye, the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind. And what is that? Pure consciousness. It is pure consciousness which makes all the senses work. So the seeing through the eyes is a conscious activity. So it is consciousness which makes seeing possible. And also the hearing is a conscious activity. So it is consciousness which makes hearing possible. So it is this consciousness which we call Brahman, Atman, or the God. So in this sense, the Lord Krishna or the Vishnu, he is here referred as Hrishikana Indra, the Lord of the all organs. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we find the idea of Antaryami. Anta means inside. Yami means controller. That which is inside every entity in this world. It can be animate or inanimate. It can be living or the non-living. In every entity, there is an inner controller, that is Ishvara. And Shankaracharya writes, Narayanakhyaha. It is known by the Narayana, the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavadgita, elsewhere we find, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hruddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. It is Ishvara, it is residing in the heart of everyone. And that Ishvara, that Paramatma is inside us, and He is the inner controller of all our actions. He is the impeller, instigator of all the actions of the organ. And it is He who is helping the Pandavas now. Therefore, it is guaranteed. The victory to the Pandavas, it is guaranteed, because it is Lord of all beings, the indweller of all beings, who is helping the Pandavas in this battlefield. This is the meaning of the Hrishikesha. Next we have Dhananjaya. Hrishikesha, the Lord Krishna blew the conch called Panchajanyam. Devadatto Dhananjayaha. See, Arjuna is called here Dhananjaya. Dhana means wealth. Jaya means conqueror. He is the conqueror of wealth. He is invincible in every way. If someone wants to fight with Arjuna, you cannot win Arjuna at all. He is invincible. He cannot be defeated. We can remember in the Rajasuya Yaga performed by Yudhishthira, the eldest brother of the Pandavas, it is Arjuna who goes from one kingdom to another kingdom and defeated all the kings and brought immense wealth for the performance of Rajasuya Yaga. That is why here he is referred as Dhananjaya, the conqueror of wealth. He brought wealth in Rajasuya Yaga. So he blew a conch called Devadatta Dhananjaya. Now we have Bhima Karma, Vrukodaraha, Poundram Dhadmau, Mahashankam, Bhima Karma, Vrukodaraha. So we have here Bhima, the second brother of the Pandavas, younger to Yudhishthira but elder to all other brothers. We have here Bhima. He is called here Bhima Karma. He does terrible deeds. He killed Hidimba, and next we will see he will be killing Dushyasana, and he would kill our Duryodhana also by terrible means. His deeds, his actions are always terrible. That is why he is referred as Bhima Karma. Next we have another qualification for Bhima, Vrukodaraha. His belly is like the belly or the stomach of the whale. He could digest plenty of food. We have instances for this in Mahabharata. So we have two qualifications for Bhima, Bhima Karma and Vrukodaraha, and he blew a conch called Poundram Dadmau. It is a Mahashanka. Even Panchajanya and Devadatta, the conches blown by Hrishikesha and Dhananjaya are not referred as Mahashanka, but the Shanka which has been blown by Bhima is referred as the greatest of the conch, because he is a very fat man, he is a very strong man. Perhaps his Shanka, his conch also was very, very big. So we have here Mahashanka which was blown by Bhima. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha Nakula Sahadevascha Sughoshamani Pushpakau. Now we come to Yudhishthira. So we have two qualifications or epithets for Yudhishthira. First, let us understand, according to commentators, Yudhishthiraha, Yudhishthiraha. Yudhi means in the battlefield who stands unshaken, undefeated. He is called Yudhishthiraha. You see, this is an advantage of reading commentaries on the Gita. You will come to know the meaning and the significance of each and every word. One who remains unshaken, undefeated in the battlefield is Yudhishthiraha. Yudhishthiraha. Such a person, he is also a great warrior. But here, two epithets, two qualifications, the two qualities of Yudhishthira is recorded here, is here enumerated here. And what are they? Raja. Always when you read Mahabharata, Yudhishthira always stands for a great king, though he became king only at the end of the story. After defeating Kauravas, he became the king, and he was also not happy to become the king after defeating Kauravas, because he felt he had killed thousands of people in the war. He was a great virtuous person. He is the embodiment of Dharmaraya. You see, we should understand his birth to know if we can appreciate his character in Mahabharata. Kunti prays to Dharma. Here Dharma means Yama. Yama and Dharma are not separate deities in our mythology. They are one and the same. Kunti prays to Dharma and Yama, and Yudhishthira was born as the first son. And that's why we found in the character, in the personality of Yudhishthira, all the great virtues of dharma embodied. That means Kunti's great austerity has taken the form of our great Yudhishthira. He is a great personality, and that is why he is called Raja here. Also, he has done Rajasuya Yaga. He has defeated number of kings and became an emperor. That is why he is referred here as Raja Yudhishthiraha. And also he is called here Kunti Putra. The commentator says it is because of the austerity and prayer of Kunti to Yama or Dharma Devata, the Yudhishthira was born. That is why he is the embodiment of Dharma, the virtue, the rightful conduct. And such a great personality, Yudhishthira, blew a conch called Ananta Vijaya. The remaining two brothers, Nakula Sahadevascha. Nakula blew the conch called Sughosha, and Sahadeva blew the conch called Mani Pushpaka. Kashyascha Parameshvasaha Shikhandi cha Maharataha Drushtadyumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parajitaha Parameshvasaha Kashyaha. Now here the names of the conches are not mentioned at all. Only the names of the warriors are mentioned. The two from the side of the Pandavas only. Parameshvasaha, the great wielder of the bow, a great archer. Who is that? Kashya. His real name is not mentioned. He is the king of the Kashi. Maharataha Shikhandi, mighty warrior. Maharata, he is Shikhandi. And Drushtadyumna. Drushtadyumna, we know already, he is the son of Drupada and Virata. And Satyakischa Aparajitaha. Aparajitaha means invincible. No one can defeat him in the battle. Satyaki. All these warriors blew their conches. Drupado Draupadeyascha Sarvasha Prithivipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahu Shankandhadmu Pruthak. Already Drushtadyumna name is mentioned. Now there is a mention of his father. First son, then the father. It is very interesting. The king of Drupada, and Draupadeyascha, the sons of Drupadi. Sons of Drupadi means sons of Pandavas. Their names already we have mentioned. Sarvashaha, all these people. Saubhadraha, the son of Subhadra, Abhimanyu. Saubhadra or Abhimanyu is qualified to be here as Mahabahu, mighty armed warrior. Sarvashaha, all these people. Shankan Dhadmuhu Pruthak. They blew their respective conches. Now Sanjaya is addressing Dhritarashtra as Prithivipate, O mighty ruler of the earth. Dhritarashtra is going to lose that status within 18 days. His sons would be defeated in the war. Still he wanted to remind him, you see, you are the ruler of the earth. It is your duty to protect your Pandavas also, but you are not doing your duty. Just to remind that, just to make Dhritarashtra aware of his duties as the king, Sanjaya is addressing Dhritarashtra as Prithivipate. Then what happened? There is no mention of the conches blown by Kauravas at all here. You may say the composer or the writer of Mahabharata is very partial towards the Pandavas, because Pandavas are on the right side. They are dharmic people, they are the righteous people. They are fighting the war for the righteous sake. That is why importance or the prominence is given to Pandavas and not the Kauravas. Then what happened? Saghosho dhatra rashtraṇam hrudayani vedarayat nabhascha prithivim chaiva tumulo vyanunadayan. Saghoshaha. That sound, what kind of sound? Tumulaha ghoshaha. A tumultuous, very uproaring sound. That kind of sound, dhatra rashtraṇam hrudayani vedarayat. This is how we have to read. Vedarayat, pierced the hearts of the sons of the Dhritarashtra. The sound is the same. Everybody has heard it. Both Pandavas, those who are on the side of the Pandavas, as well as those who are on the side of the Kauravas, both have heard this sound. But this sound caused pain in the heart and the mind of the Kauravas, not the Pandavas. This is also has a psychological significance. If you are on the side of adharma, if you are committing a crime, if you are an unrighteous person, you are always worried. Everything will make you painful. Your mind becomes afflicted. Your mind will be full of affliction. So we have 5 kinds of affliction in the teaching of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha and Abhinivesha. It is Raga and Dvesha, extreme attachment and extreme hatred, that is filled in the minds of the evil-minded people. So evil means the Raga and Dvesha. These Kauravas are fighting the war out of hatred towards the Pandavas and out of extreme attachment to the kingdom. But Pandavas are not so. Pandavas are fighting the war for the sake of dharma, to protect the dharma. This is the difference. Pandavas are doing their duty. They are not hankering or craving for the kingdom, but they are fighting the war as a duty to protect the dharma. The Kauravas are fighting the war for the selfish ends, for the selfish purpose. That is why when we are selfish, when we are on the wrong side of the ethical conduct, when we are doing something wrong, always our mind is afflicted. We will be restless, we will be filled with sorrow, anxiety, worry, etc. So this verse indicates this sound created by the conches, Vyadarayat, pierced as if, penetrated as if, the heart of not Pandavas but Dhatra Rashtra. Dhatra Rashtra, we can have 2 meanings, the sons of Dhritarashtra, also those who are associated with Dhritarashtra. Everyone on the side of the Dhritarashtra, Dhatra Rashtra, the Kaurava side, who are fighting for the Kauravas, because they are adharmic people. They are not dharmic people. They are always having the worry, anxiety, because they are committing a kind of crime. This is the psychological significance of this Hrudayani Vedarayat, piercing, causing pain in the mind of those who are associated with the Dhatra Rashtra or the sons of the Dhritarashtra. This is the first statement. Saghosho dhatra rashtraanam hrudayani vyadarayat. That same sound, nabhascha prithivim chaiva tumulo venunadayan. The tumultuous uproar, saghoshaha, what happened? The tumulaha, that filled the sky and also the prithvi. That means it is called antariksha. In traditionally we have that prithvi and as well as the heaven, that heavenly abodes. In between the akasha or the space is called antariksha. We have prithvi, earth below, and the heavenly lokas above. The space between it is called antariksha. Nabha and prithvi. It filled the space between Nabha and Prithvi. Everywhere, even the sky, the whole sky is filled with the uproarious sound of the conches and the musical instrument. The whole earth also was filled with the sound. Nabhascha Prithivin Chaiva, and resounding in the sky and over the land. This is the meaning. Tumulaha Venunadayan. It resounded. It made echoes. Echoed. The sound was echoed everywhere in the sky as well as on the land. Now we have the entry of the heroes of Bhagavadgita. Atha vyavastitan drishtva धात्रराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदमाह महीपते. Mahipate. Sanjaya is addressing once again Dhritarashtra, O king, the ruler of this earth. Dhatrarashtran atha vyavastitan drushtva. Arjuna, the Pandava leader, he is called here Kapidhvaja. The symbol or insignia of the Kapi, the Hanuman, it was on the banner, it was the banner of the Arjuna's chariot. It was on the flag that was on the chariot of the Arjuna. That is why he is called here Kapidhvajaha. Atha vyavastitan drushtva. All the army of Dhritarashtra, Dhartarashtra, the sons of the Dhritarashtra, they are all drawn up in the battle. They are all arranged in the formation. It is called Vyuha. So they are all in their respective position. Atha vyavastitan drushtva, having seen Dhatrarashtra, the associates of the Dhritarashtra or the son Dhatrarashtra or the sons of Dhritarashtra, their army arranged in the battle array. Kapidhvaja. Here Kapidhvaja is referred to Arjuna, one who is having the banner of Kapi or the Hanuman himself. Pravrutte Shastra Sampate. This is very interesting. Everything is ready for the battle. There is no retreat now. Dhritarashtra was hoping against hope. Somehow the war would be stopped and Pandavas will cede their request and Pandava will retreat from the war and give all the land to the Kauravas, his son. But it never happened. It is a hopeless condition, hopeless situation for Dhritarashtra. He is very much distressed. Kauravas are terrified. We have seen there are many indications were given here, were shown to us. Kauravas are terrified, they are very much worried. But Duryodhana was very adamant. He was ready to die in the battle. He was ready to get his army defeated by the Pandava than to retreat from the war. He is an arrogant, adamant, evil force that you can say. Now everything is ready. Tada shastra sampate. Weapons are ready for action. The weapons are drawn. Weapons are taken out. So we are ready for battle. We are ready to fight. This is the situation now. This is the condition now. Pravrutte shastra sampate. Then Arjuna, what he did? Here we don't find any indication on the part of Arjuna that he would soon going to be depressed and withdraw from the war. There is no indication at all. Because here it is said, Dhanurudyamya Pandava. He lifted his Dhanu, Ghandiva. That means lifting the weapon, lifting the bow means he is also ready for the war. Dhanurudyamya Pandava. Then he told these words to Hrishikesha. Hrishikesham tada vakyam idamaha. Once again we have the word Hrishikesha, impeller of the organs. Krishna knew what is going on in the mind of Arjuna. Within 2-3 minutes, Arjuna will become a different person altogether. Arjuna will be immersed in the grief. Arjuna will be under the delusion. He is going to retreat from the war. He knew that. That is why symbolically, according to commentator Madhusudana Saraswati, Hrishikesha word is used again to indicate that. Hrishikesham tada vakyam idamaha mahipate. Now Arjuna is speaking to Krishna. So it is the beginning of the great conversation that will go up to the 18th chapter. More than nearly 700 verses we have in this Bhagavadgita. The great conversation between the Lord Krishna and Arjuna. It is the beginning. Arjuna uvacha. Senayorubhayor madhye ratham stapayamechyuta yavadetan niriksheham yodhukamanavastitan kairmaya sahayodhavyam asmin ranasamudyame. This is a very strange request. Arjuna knew from the beginning with whom he had to fight, who are his enemies. But here he wants to see those enemies, those persons with whom he is supposed to wage war or fight. Ratham sthapaya achyuta. O Achyuta, Ratham Stapaya. Achyuta, he is there Sri Krishna. We will try to understand this word afterwards. Ratham Stapaya. My chariot, please, Stapaya, station. My chariot, where I have to station, where I have to make it stand. Senayor ubhayoho. There are two armies, Pandava's army and Kaurava's army. In between these two armies, please station my chariot. Mama. It is my army, he is telling. Hrishikesha, the Lord, Supreme Lord himself is the charioteer here, but Arjuna is having that egoism, ahankara, mama ratha. It is also a symbolic. This body, mind and intellect, the whole body-mind conglomeration belongs to the Lord, belongs to the God. It is supported by Chaitanya, the consciousness, which is Brahman or the Atman. But still, out of egoism, Jiva, the individual soul, thinks it belongs to me. Body belongs to me. Mind belongs to me. Whatever belongs to body is mine. Food is mine. I am taking food. So this is ahankara, which is the sign of ignorance. It is the product of the ignorance of our real nature. So this mama ratha, me ratham, nanna my ratha, this indicates that here chariot is nothing but our own body. Rishikesha, the Lord, is the supreme spirit within us. I have already told you, it is this antaryami, it is the supreme consciousness, which is the indwelling spirit. In Vedanta, we call it as pratyagatma, that is inside the body, the supreme consciousness that is available to us, that we can feel. That is what is the supreme Atman, pratyagatma, Brahman. Here Krishna represents the supreme spirit, supreme Lord, supreme Bhagavan, Brahman. The Arjuna represents the egoistic jiva, individual soul, who wrongfully think this body and that which belongs to body is all me and the mine. That is what is called ahankara and the mamakara. And Arjuna is dictating the Lord of the universe. That is very, very interesting. Arjuna is far inferior in every respect than Krishna. Though Krishna and Arjuna are both friends, but Krishna, we know, is a great personality, the incarnation of God himself. But Arjuna is dictating him. What should be the reaction of Krishna? What would be the reaction of Krishna? Commentator Madhusudana Saraswati says, Krishna never gets angry. Krishna knows Arjuna is in ignorance. Arjuna is not a realized soul. If Arjuna would have been realized soul, he would have realized that Krishna is the innermost consciousness of my being. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. That understanding would have come. But here, Krishna is being dictated by Arjuna. Krishna never gets angry. He knows what is going to happen within few minutes. What would be the condition of Arjuna, our great Arjuna, who is talking arrogantly now. What he wants, Yavadetan niriksheham. I want to see. Whom you want to see? Yodhu avastitan, yodhu kaman. They are all assembled here. Who are they? Dhatra Rashtran. They are all the sons of Dhritarashtra and his army. They have all assembled here. They all want to fight. Yodhu kaman. They are eager to fight. They have not come here to play. They have not come here for entertainment or enjoyment. They have all come to die. They have all come to fight. Yodhu kaman avastitan. Where they have assembled in the Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra, I want to see them. Nirikshe aham. You facilitate that. You place my chariot in between the two armies so that I can see them. This is what the yavat indicates. The yavat indicates, yavat means as long as, it is in terms of time. As long as I could see my opponent who are eager to fight, please place my chariot in between the two armies. This is how we have to understand. This is with regard to time, as long as. And with regard to the place, you place my chariot at such a place in between the two armies from where I can see my opponents who are eager to fight. This is with regard to place. This yavat indicates both time and the place. This is how the commentator explains the yavat. Yavat niriksheram. As long as I can see them, you please place my army or chariot between the two armies. Kairmaya saha yodhyavyam. With whom I had to fight in this war. Rana samudyame. In this war, Rana samudyame means, udyama means enterprise. Any work or activity is called a udyama. What is udyama here? Rana, the fighting, the war itself is udyama here. In this Rana udyama, in this enterprise called the war, with whom I had to place. I want to see them. You place that my chariot in such a position where I can see them. You place my chariot so long as to see them clearly. This is the meaning we derive out of these verses. So we have completed 22nd verse, and we will continue with the next verse in the next week or the next week after that. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.